A lot of power around this table. It's very impressive. I'm honored to be joined today by top law enforcement officials, members of Congress, Secretary Nielsen, Attorney General Sessions, to discuss the threat of the very lawless, in many cases, sanctuary cities. They're causing a lot of problems for this country. Sanctuary cities release thousands of criminal aliens out of our prisons and jails and back into our communities. They go into those sanctuary cities. When they see them, they go there because they feel they're safe. And in many cases, they are very bad actors. We have gang members. We have predators, rapists, killers. A lot of bad people. To underscore the scope of that threat we face, last year alone, ICE arrested illegal immigrants with 48,000 charges or convictions for assault, 11,000 for sex crimes, 1,800 for killing people, and other homicide-related offenses. And we have offenses that are so great, we're not even going to talk about them right now. They are so great. Last September, an illegal immigrant was arrested by San Francisco police for spousal abuse. ICE filed a detainer on the individual, but the detainer was denied, and the alien was released. Less than 10 days later, the same illegal immigrant was arrested for murder. Many cases like that. In another case, an alleged illegal gang member was arrested by the San Francisco Police Department more than 10 times between 2013 and 2017 for charges including domestic battery, assault, theft, and rape. But San Francisco refused to cooperate with ICE. You know that very well, don't you, Tom? You have a lot of problems with that. And he kept getting released. Over and over again, he was released. Sanctuary cities in states like California put innocent Americans at the mercy of hardened criminals, hardened murderers in many cases. Yet House and Senate Democrats voted nearly unanimously in favor of sanctuary cities. Explain that. We're looking to have safe cities, folks. Safe cities. They're also blocking the bed space we need on the omnibus to stop catch and release. Catch and release. We catch a killer, we have to release him. We need the extra beds so that we don't have to release him. Bed space is very important. It's being negotiated right now. Democrats' priority is to protect criminals, not to do what's right for our country. My priority and the priority of my administration is to serve, protect, and defend the citizens of the United States. So we have tremendous people around this table, people that know what's happening, know what's going on. And maybe, Tom, I'd like to start with you. You could say a few words quickly, and we'll go around the table. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me. This is an important discussion, and I'm proud to represent the 20,000 American heroes that work at ICE. As many of you know, ICE just recently conducted a series of planned target enforcement operations in California in jurisdictions that no longer cooperate with federal law enforcement officers, thanks to a statewide sanctuary policy. To meet our mission, we conduct operations like this across the country every day. They are based on intelligence-driven leads. So let me be clear. There are no raids. There are no sweeps. Everybody we arrest is a targeted enforcement operation. We know exactly who we're going to arrest and exactly where we're going to find them most of the time. In fiscal year 2017, for example, for those people that say we don't prioritize who we arrest, 81% of all aliens we arrested in California last year were convicted criminals. We also prioritize fugitives and aliens who have illegally re-entered the United States, which is a felony by the mere fact they re-entered after being formally removed. But let me be clear, as I've said many times, it's a crime to enter the United States illegally. It's under Title 8 code. And ICE officers shouldn't be condemned because they're upholding their sworn oath and enforcing the laws that Congress enacted. We are told on one hand to focus our efforts on criminals, but those same folks that want us to focus on criminals don't let us in the county jail. It just defies logic. Concentrate on criminals, but don't come in our county jail. As a result, many of my officers are forced to make arrests out in this community. Ask any law enforcement officer, we got many sitting around this table, arresting a public safety threat on his turf where he has access to weapons is a significant danger to men and women of ICE. And and other law enforcement officers. Many of our local law enforcement officers, our partners in California, some at this table, also oppose the dangerous policies of sanctuary policies imposed by Sacramento, including the California State Sheriff's Association. They have disagreed with the governor. They have come out with press statements saying they're not allowed to communicate with ICE the way they want to, and they have to release public safety threats out into the public, which they don't want to do. Following the passage of SB 54, they issued a statement. Let me quote them. This comes from the California State Sheriff's Association. This legislation contains significant liabilities that restrict communications with federal law enforcement about the release of wanted, undocumented criminals from our jails, including known gang members, repeat drunk drivers, persons who assault peace officers, serial thieves, and abusers, and other serious offenders. As we know, criminals, all you gotta do is Google, criminals, the recidivism rate right now in California is over 50%. Over half these people that get released will reoffend the first year. Let me talk about a couple of recent examples. What just happened in Northern California and in Oakland. A law enforcement agency in Merced County, California arrested a Mexican national for robbery and multiple weapons violations, including carrying a concealed weapon and willful discharge of a firearm with gross negligence. This alien was previously released from local custody back into the community in November 2017, following his arrest for conspiracy to commit crime and vandalism. Despite the fact we issued a detainer, he was released. He is one of the many public safety threats we targeted during our most recent operation in Northern California that we weren't able to locate. Since our operation in San Francisco and Oakland, 3 of the people we couldn't locate have since reoffended. The one person I just talked about was just arrested for robbery and multiple weapons violations. We also, another person just arrested that we failed to locate in the Oakland area, just arrested for his 3rd DUI. 3rd DUI. So if he's getting arrested 3 times, how many times has he committed this crime? That is a public safety threat. He also has been convicted for false imprisonment and battery of a spouse, but we couldn't locate him during this latest operation. Again, released from a jail. And third, there's a third targeted criminal that we were attempted to arrest in San Francisco area. He just got rearrested for corporal injury of a spouse. There's 2 final points I'd like to make. First, these policies are being used by criminal organizations in Mexico and Central America. It's a selling tactic for them to get the smuggled aliens to a sanctuary jurisdiction where even local law enforcement won't cooperate with ICE. Thereby bankrolling the very criminal organizations that smuggle these aliens. We're bankrolling the very criminal organizations that have killed Border Patrol agents and special agents. Further, sanctuary laws help employers to exploit illegal workers with low wages and poor working conditions. I want to be clear on sanctuary policies. ICE isn't asking the local law enforcement to be ICE officers. We don't want them out making vehicle stops, asking immigration questions. What we want them to do is give federal law enforcement officers unfettered access to a county jail to take custody of somebody that's in the country illegally and yet committed another crime against the citizens of this country. It's safer for the officers. It's safer for the community. These people go out and reoffend in the very communities they live, which are the immigrant communities. Sanctuary cities do not protect the immigrant community. They put them in harm's way. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Great job you've done, Tom. Not easy, but a great job.
Appreciate it.
It could be a lot easier if we had laws that allowed you, like we got rid of catch and release and some of the others. That would make your job a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Certainly would.
So, Marianne, we've been friends for a long time. How's it going?
It's going good.
Maybe just say a few words, man.
My son, Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, was killed in 2014 by a repeat illegal alien criminal who had been shown leniency in the state of Colorado and released back out onto our streets. It's a common thing, and some thoughts have come over in my head the last few days. This is actually a mass murder happening in the United States by illegal aliens killing American citizens. Over 63,000 Americans have been killed since 9/11 by illegal aliens. It's a crime spree that is being left unchecked, and the sanctuary city officials, state and city officials, They're putting American lives into harm every single day. And we have become collateral damage to their personal agendas. And it's got to be stopped. And FAIR is coming out with a new report here in the next few days. A year and a half ago, there were 300 sanctuary cities, and now there are 600. And so it's an increasing problem, and there's more and more city and state officials that are thumbing their nose at federal law. And so my big question today is, what are your plans to defund these sanctuary cities, making them adhere to federal law, and what action will be taken against these defiant city and state officials?
I got it, man. We're with you. I never heard the number 63,000 people killed by illegal immigrants. Is that a known figure? Is
It's
that
an
an
average of 12
acknowledged?
Americans a day, which is how many are killed in the United States
63,000 people?
since 9/11.
Since 9/11. Boy, that is some number. I've never heard that number before. It's an incredible number. Thank you, Marion.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.